welcome to another Jarvis video series. In this particular video, we're going to be going over um, uh, what you would call structure confidence in a trade and external confluences as well. And in this video, we're going to be utilizing Jarvis, obviously, and the 2 degrees fractal model and the stat map to let you know how Jarvis plays very well with others. And one thing about strategies is that there really isn't one good strategy, right? Um, but Jarvis is an all-around statistical synthesizer of market structure, but it works very well when you have external contexts as well. So that's what's going to happen in this video. So we're going to play this through. Okay. So we get a buy. Okay, so let's pause it here. As you can see, A1 printed, which means an accepted strong print printed with a strong, as you can see the green here, strong follow through, which is this candle. But Jarvis still gave it a -1. It was structure led, fragile, but a -1. So at this moment in time, it's kind of like, well, it's a -1. It's not even neutral. Trader probably wouldn't take this trade. Okay, so let's just say, 2 degrees was not on here. There was no stat map. Kind of like, okay, well, I'm not going to bother with this trade. But what happened with adding 2 degrees is that you can see it was bullish. So the high time frame on the 15-minute was bullish. So you look at confidence in Jarvis um, by adding other layers of confluence on top of that confidence to create more of a bias into the trade. You can tell that it was a pullback. There was no tempo or drift because this particular D sample structure statistically failed. As you can see, there was no win rate, and that means there was no duration, right, for the TP. So that's why T and D, there's nothing there. But there is a pullback here. So Jarvis is saying there's a pullback here. So with this type of model setup, right, if there was no 2 degrees here, this is a trade I probably would not take, even though A1 printed, which is great, right? And acceptance printed with a strong follow through, which is green, which is good. It did upgrade from needing more information from the structure to actually finishing it green. So it definitely finished green fallback for the evaluation. But even with that being said, the confidence score was still a -1. So it's kind of like a mixed bag. I don't like mixed bags, right? But because we have the 2 degrees fractal model in play, it was basically saying, hey, 15-minute is bullish. So what do? Take the trade. It's a pullback. So you wouldn't enter at A1 close. You wouldn't enter on the strong follow through. My suggestion, because this is a D key, I'm going to say probably take either the C3 confirmation, which is this B score candle, close or open. So let's say we go with the open. Okay, you're gonna pull your stop down to the swing point. Now for 2 degrees fractal model, its swing points is the C2. So basically 2 degrees is saying, hey, this particular swing point is safe, right? So I never really go to the actual um, wick. I always give it a little bit more gaps. I'm gonna put it to like here, okay? And then I'm gonna drag this up to the floor of the bullish PTR. These two lines here, these are the bullish PTR. This is part of Jarvis, okay? So this is part of Jarvis. This is 2 degrees, right? Here, okay? And it's interesting, as you can see, 4.5 and -5 is like right near the PTR, which is very interesting. Um, so we're gonna pull this back out here, and we're going to hit the play button, okay? There's the power of 3, with 4 candles for 2 degrees. So let's go ahead and play this through a little bit faster and see what happens. Tap in. TP. Now, here's your TP. Here's another sweep from 2 degrees again. Bullish sweep. Now we've gone neutral. So you see we started off bullish, now we're neutral. But there's still a sweep here. So this is where you use external confluences to kind of like nudge Jarvis a bit, right? Jarvis is like, look, this is a -1. It is what it is. But you're saying, hey Jarvis, listen, I got some external confluences here that's looking pretty good. Let's see how we can nudge this confidence. You do not change the score. Okay, the doctrine does it's flat out flat. It's immutable. You cannot change the score. But what you can do is augment it, right? So it's always going to be a -1, but it's going to be a -1 with when the signal fired with a bullish high time frame. So this is one of the examples of Jarvis playing well with others, right? With 2 degrees. So shout out to 2 degrees. Um, it's a great indicators they have in the suite. And in this particular video, we're utilizing the 2 degrees fractal model and the stat map. From a stat map perspective, you can see that this was the neutral zone, and as you can see, the um, C2, C3 candle. This is C2, C3 candle, buy signal, C2, C3. C3 closed above the neutral zone. A1 closed way above the neutral zone, right? And not only that, it also closed above this 200 EMA. Now, if you want to get the colors and the colors set up for this particular view, definitely follow the trading view user Jarvis MSP, and just fire them a DM, and we can get you this what we call the Jarvis elegant mode, right? As you can see here, it's very clear and concise, and you're able to see all your wicks very cleanly. Your TP candles are here. Your PTCs are in blue. Very, very nice, man. So this is the EMA 200. The yellow is the 50, and the little green that you see here is a 21. So yeah, there was a lot of confluences here. This was more of a grinder, but having that external confluence, which is ECL in Jarvis terminology, allowed this trade to do what it needed to do. So more videos to come.